Hey folks, another quick little intro here. I just want to say a big thank you to both Shane for volunteering his time and expense to come over to my house and bring tools and his knowledge and spend the time working with me and trying to help me troubleshoot this. I really, truly appreciate him doing that. That's an awesome thing to do, especially for someone you've just gotten to know. Shane, really appreciate it, man. And another big thanks to Corey at Faders. It's my local dealer. I took the bike in there today. He hooked everything up to the computer. He determined that both ECUs are running the exact same map. He rode the bike with both ECUs to see if he could recreate or feel this bogging stuff. He couldn't. You know, he spent quite a bit of time looking at all this stuff for me. They didn't charge me anything, so I definitely feel like, you know, I don't want to say they made it right because they didn't do anything wrong. And part of what I want to show here is that, you know, my video before this one, I sort of reached some conclusions that weren't accurate. They were based on my experience at that time and my perception of what was going on. But once we got in there and see the maps, we see the maps are the same. So I can't attribute what I'm experiencing to a specific map or a specific ECU. I don't know what the hell's going on. And part of wanting to do this and show all this stuff is just show what a average Joe like myself of mediocre intellect, my experience going through all these things and learning about this stuff and you know, growing and exploring the power sports world. My dad has been riding bikes and building bikes and drag cars and stuff since he was a teenager, but I squandered my youth playing video games and diddling myself, and I didn't learn that much from him. And so now I'm a middle-aged man-child, and I'm having to basically learn now as an adult and figure this stuff out and go through things. So this is my journey, showing what I've learned, and today's video is just kind of a reflection of how I feel about everything, what I've learned, and where I'm at. So let's get into it. Hey folks, it's Mike with Chasing Trail. I just got done. I took the bike in today to my local dealer again, Faders, and now some of that video is not even going to be relevant. So anyway, took the bike into Faders. Let me give some backstory. My buddy Shane saw my video and he said, hey, I think I have a solution, and he drove over to my house with his ECU. He has a 2022 of the same bike, so he came over with his ECU. We swapped ECUs. I plugged his into my bike and it was running better. I wasn't having the bog anymore. Then he said, let's try bypassing your fuel controller, and it was running even better yet. And now I'm getting rained on. Fuck. Wasn't supposed to rain today, but apparently it's going to, so I'm actually gonna cut my ride short and just head home. I don't want to get dumped on. God damn it. What a pisser. Yesterday's ride got foiled. Today's ride's getting foiled. Motherfucker. Anyway, I'm rambling. Long story short, I thought Shane's ECU was the fix. I thought, because they said they had done a software update on mine, and so I figured they must have put a different map on it that fucked mine up somehow. So I took it into Faders. They hooked it up to the computer, and I was running the exact same map as Shane. His was a 2022, mine's a 21. They must have updated my map to the 22 map, so it's not the map I thought it was. Corey there also rode it back to back with both ECUs. He couldn't recreate any bogging issue. He did mention the Goland style, you won't be able to see here, the Goland style pancake fuel filter I'm using. He's seen that cause problems on his friends' bikes. He doesn't recommend using that. It's possible that could be what it is. At this point, I have no idea. But it's not the ECU because we have the exact same map. So I don't know what the issue is, to be perfectly honest. Right now, just riding around town here for a little bit, it hasn't done it again. It could be something with the fuel programmer. since bypassing that, another thing Shane suggested doing was bypassing the fuel programmer. And much to my surprise, the bike actually ran better without it. So now I'm running with no fuel programmer. With the amount of mods I've done, everyone has said the stock ECU should be able to compensate, no problem. It's not unless you really open it up and remove the reeds and completely open the exhaust that you would need the extra fuel. And both Shane and the guys at Corey's have said, you know, the fuel programmer is not really going to cut it. Just do it right and get the replacement ECU. Shane has the AIM Type N, which he's happy with. Corey at Faders uses a Vortex, which he's happy with. So if I keep the bike long term, that's the play, is to just replace the ECU. Corey suggested I remove this ultra silent insert. He said the way I have it configured, it's basically like stock. He said after riding this, it feels exactly like every other stock 500 he's ridden. He also mentioned my front suspension feels really soft. I did put a stiffer rear shock spring on, but I never did anything with the front. I hadn't noticed the front feeling soft, but I'm such a pussy rider that I probably just don't push it. But that's another thing that I'd end up doing. Fork springs aren't that much. So anyway, mystery not solved, but I haven't seen the light come back on yet. And as of right now, the bike's running great, so who knows? For me to keep this bike long term, that's at least another $700, because I'm not going to be comfortable with this setup. I'm going to feel like I need to do the ECU. That's going to be at least another $700. I'm going to need to do the fork springs. That's another $140. I don't know, man. I've already thrown a lot of money at this bike, so some of this is sunk cost fallacy. I do use this bike on the street more than I had thought I would, even if it's just to run over to a friend's house, run out to my parents' house, do rides like today. I'm not spending a ton of time on the street, but it's significant. And I don't think it's the best actual dual sport bike. If you were just connecting to, and I bought it with the intention of all I'm going to use this for is to ride out to the dam, that's it. The only reason to get this over a pure dirt bike is to not have to deal with trucking it. That was my intent when I purchased it. My experience, however, after owning it, is that I'm riding it more than I thought I would, including on the street, and it's just not great for that. And if I now need to throw more money at it to get it to be better, there it's bogging a little bit. It just did it again. So, fuck man, I don't know. And if the thing is going to overheat at stoplights to the point where I'm going to have to turn the thing off every time I get stuck at a long stoplight, that's not good either. Like I don't know. I bought a high performance race bike. You know, I can't really act surprised that it isn't just a perfect around town dual sport. So, and I get, fuck, I didn't trigger the light. Motherfucker. There's another thing that's just fucking annoying. It's not triggering lights. Very annoying. That sums up my day thus far. Annoyed. So, last night before Shane walked me back from the edge of the cliff, I literally had put together a whole Craigslist ad, and I was ready to post it. And he texted me and said call him, he had a solution. I was on the payment screen to submit the ad, pay my $5. And then with his ECU, I was thinking, oh, problem solved. But now I'm thinking, problem not solved. Only way to solve it really is going to be to get an aftermarket ECU. I don't want to spend more money on this bike to try to make it something that I'm probably just not going to be super happy with. For pure off-road, I am very happy with it. I love it. But I am riding it like a dual sport. So I don't know what my point, I don't even know what the fuck I just said for the last 10 minutes. I'm just rambling, trying to gather my thoughts. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I'm thinking about a number of things. I'm thinking maybe 2 bikes isn't even the right solution. Maybe 3. Maybe a pure off-road dirt bike that I truck out there, like a 2-stroke. I'd love to have a 2-stroke dirt bike. I've always wanted one. Like a 300, the ones that, you know, go super low RPM, they'll lug around, they're light. I love the smell of 2-stroke. It'd be fun to have one. Around here, the sticker thing is an issue. I talked to the guys at the shop, they said DMV is actually still issuing red stickers right now because they want the money. But he says they probably aren't going to renew them next year. So that could be a problem. Around here, honestly, they don't check for stickers. I've only seen a Ranger check for anything once, and the only thing he checked for was spark arresters. That was it. As long as you have a spark arrestor, I don't think they give a shit. So I know people who live in other places that are a lot more strict have to have them, but I think I can get away with it here. So my current thought is maybe I should go with a pure off-road machine for riding out there. Get an actual dual sport for my dual sport usage, like the mighty DR650, and then get just an actual street bike for pure street usage. Right now I have 2 bikes that are trying to fill double duty on different ends of the spectrum. I thought that was going to work for me. The way I feel right now, which is probably fueled by some frustration, is that that's not working as well as I want it to. Isn't to say it's not working, it is. But I think there may be a better solution. Plus, I'm always trying to justify to myself some reason to just buy other bikes. That's definitely part of it. I'm a bike whore. I want to ride them all. I want to ride every motorcycle that was ever made or will be made. And since I don't have unlimited funds or unlimited garage space, the only way to do that is to buy them. There is fucking bogging. It bogged. You may not be able to see that in the video. I'm telling you for certain, I had to hammer the throttle to get it through that bog. Son of a bitch bastard. It doesn't do it all the time, and so that's the thing. Corey rode it just around the shop there and it didn't do it. It's not all the time, but it's definitely doing it still. Fuck my ass. This I'm gonna flip out and go to. I was in a fit of rage last night, and it's coming right back. If Zendime links me one more goddamn meme today, I'm gonna lose my shit. I do just want to give a huge thanks to Shane. It was really generous of him to reach out to me. He drove that ECU over to my house on his gas and spent like an hour with me, helping me test stuff and swap stuff and go through things. I really appreciate him doing that. Shane, you're the man. I'm sorry I wasn't able to meet up with you this morning. He offered to ask me to go for a ride with some buddies of his this morning. I wanted to go, but I get so OCD about stuff like this. I have to get to the bottom of it. I will not stop until I figure this out, or I'll sell the bike and just be like, I
I'm probably going to sell the bike, let's be honest, and move on and go back to Japanese and get a, I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but I'm probably not going to keep this. This shit's going to drive me up the fucking wall, and I don't want to throw any more money at it. I've thrown too much money at it already. Zendyne bought his Beta. It has $1,000 less MSRP. It comes perfectly set up from the factory, and the only thing he's had to buy is a seat and some spoke weights. 300 bucks. I'm into this for like 10 times as much money as I've thrown at this. Maybe not 10 times as much, a lot, and it's still not where I want it to be, and I'm not going to throw another grand. So I'll take my L like a man. I'll admit defeat, and then I'll start linking all the dank KTM memes, because I feel like, yeah, I don't need a high performance European race machine. And if it comes with maintenance bullshit, then yeah, back to Japanese for me. They just work, and they work well enough for a mediocre shitter like myself. It is a beautiful bike. Look at it. It's real pretty. Anyway, if you want to buy it, let me know. I'll make you a good deal. Channel fan discount. But yeah, that's all I got today. It's gonna rain. Sucks. Maybe tomorrow. Anyway, sorry to be a Debbie Downer today. Is what it is. Thanks for watching.